So we're obviously doing this in sequential order. Um, and I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get real kind of sad around this section because we have teams with talent, teams with competition that are really stuck, and the Chicago Bulls are quite stuck. So they made a lot of offseason moves to get Vucevic, Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan. They've done a lot of things to make them competitive, and for a very smallish window, they actually were, and there was some merit to their decision making, and we understood what the Chicago Bulls were doing, and it has really fallen apart. DeMar DeRozan's been a real standout. Vucevic maybe hasn't lived up to the hype slash what was sent back to Orlando. Maybe wasn't the smartest of decisions. And Lonzo Ball's career is completely up in the air at this point. So what do you do with them? Well, there's nothing to do with the drafts because the picks are gone and they can't really be bad because it's not going to help. And they can't really be good because, again, even if they're good, they're kind of capped. So Vucevic is a free agent this season, and personally, it feels like a sign and trade scenario. It's very hard. I can't offer you any, unfortunately, because Trade Machine doesn't allow for all these semantics. But two teams that I felt could see him. OKC is one team that has a lot of young assets and draft picks that you could see them taking that on. Because Chet, depending on how Chet wants to play, I feel like he's more of a slashing big in a weird sense. He's not that bruiser, low post threat. So OKC could have him. But I also felt like Vucevic potentially has the right skill set to match what Golden State would want to do. And Golden State clearly have to make some moves in a trade as well. Um, we think of Draymond, we think of Poole, we think of Thompson. We've talked about them and we'll continue to talk about them in the future. But Vucevic needs to be signed and trade. Lonzo, Lonzo may be a medical exemption. I could trade him for Colin Sexton. This doesn't make sense for Utah unless they're deliberately trying to be bad. But at this point, you do want to get off Lonzo. It's no disrespect to the talent. It's no disrespect to the potential, but you still got 3 more years at about 20 mil a year for a guy who probably won't play. And that's even if he does play, it's how long. And then this is the one that people are going to react to. I feel like DeMar DeRozan also probably needs to go. There's a recognition that it's either Zach LaVine's team or his team, and Zach LaVine is the direction they want to go in, so that's fine. So who do you get? I feel like maybe for a pick, not the third pick in the draft, but a pick. DeMar DeRozan and Damian Lillard are going to give it a go. And Anthony Simons is going to come this way. Now, what's the motivation there? It's a little bit of age similarity there. So Anthony is obviously closer to Zach LaVine's age than DeMar is. And DeMar and Damian, if they want to be loyal to Portland, they can give it a red hot go. And if it doesn't work, it's over in 3 seasons. And then Portland can finally steer in that direction that they need to, because right now they're still bridging. They're still old with Dame, but then they're trying to be competitive, but they're trying to rebuild. So why not just go all in, see what DeMar DeRozan can do? We know that Dame and another scoring threat of 20 to 25 points can be a successful combo. So what do you think?
I love how we've been opposite world on all these takes, right? You're basically saying tear apart the Bulls, it's not gonna work. And I'm going to continue to hold course here that until they actually do in real life tear it down, you hold the course. You play, through the conversation we've had on the Bulls over the last year or so since they swung these trades to build this core. I've been high on them. Okay. And high doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win a championship. Okay. But they've probably underperformed to what their potential should have been. And a lot of that was seen in the first however many games, 20, 30 games when Lonzo Ball was healthy. And they had, I think, #1 record in the East at that point. And then Ball went out with an injury. And they have not been able to find the same level of success since then. And I've said all along that it comes with, again, similar to other teams that have this sort of need, a void of a floor general. Yeah. In a perfect world, I'd love to say put CP3 into the Bulls lineup somehow. I don't see that happen. That's not my trade proposal, okay? But if you could put a vet like that that's going to dish out 10 assists and get LaVine, get the Rose and the ball in the right spots, get Vucevic going and so on and so forth, I think that would do them wonders. Yeah, even if CP3 scored 5 points a game, that would do them wonders. Obviously, at the trade deadline this year, they went out and got Pat Beverly. look, you want to play like Pat Bell in your team. I think, don't get me wrong, I like the guy, but is he the guy that moves the needle? Not really. Is he a pass first point guard? Not really. I don't think anyone's ever sort of sort of thought of Pat Bev as some guy that really sort of creates for everyone else. He's just your lockdown defender sort of guard you put on, really sort of on the number one option on the team and just throw him at that. Um, so look, I guess I think from my point of view here, the Bulls, like I said, I really think that they stay the course. They keep this core. They obviously have to give Vucevic another contract here, and they do that. And ultimately, if they blow this up in a year or two or whenever, I think DeRozan's 2 more years left. That if they do go, look, 2 more years of this, that would have been, I think, about 4 years of this core. Can't get any further than they have so far. Sure. All right, I think Vucevic still will have value to be traded somewhere else at that point if you put him on a reasonable contract at this point. And my trade here basically is flipping out Kobe White. And I'm going to suggest bringing in Cameron Payne. Obviously, and look, you talked about, how's it work for both sides. I think, that play is not a bad trade necessarily for the Suns either. It'll give you guys another gunner off the bench there, and option just a fresh face in the valley, But at the same time, I guess for the Bulls, more importantly here is that it gives them play more of a pure point guard. Campaign's never been a real. Well, he's never really had that, played as a starter for most of his career, sort of played spot minutes here. But when he sort of filled in, he's been productive. And look, we're not looking for him to score 20 points a game, but we're probably looking for him to sort of dish out, 6 to 8 assists a game. Can he do that? Can he create and put up 10 points a game too? And I think if he can do that, the Bulls might be able to get on a better track. I think. I don't know. That's how I see it.
No one could ever question your loyalty, because you love hanging on to a franchise that clearly needs to blow it up. But we'll see what people think.
This is Two Guys with Spare Time. I'm Faz, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.